One Zambia, One Nation. Welcome to Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Sarah Miti, and my sign language caster is John Chulu. Top stories in the news. Government reiterates commitment to transform education sector. FRA targets to purchase 40,000 bags of maize in Mwansawombwe. Chembe Mini Hospital gets mortuary units. And drainages in flood-prone areas in Lusaka are rehabilitated. Zanis News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has reiterated government's commitment to continue investing in the education sector to fully transform and make attractive to learners in the country. President Hichilema says supporting education is at the center of his administration and will therefore continue strengthening the sector through many reforms. The head of state said this when the Association of the Development of Education in Africa, ADIA delegation, paid a courtesy call on him at State House today.
In line with Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which aspires for inclusive and equitable quality education and the promotion of lifelong learning opportunities for all, President Hakainde Hichilema has underscored government's resolve to continue improving the education sector. This is because education is said to be the best equalizer.
Indicate before I go further that education to us, supporting education to us, is the best investment. Nothing beats that. What brought me into this chair is one thing only, nothing else. It's education. And we have a duty to expand this opportunity to many more of our children, especially at an early age, many more of our populations. Since we introduced the free education in our country, we have seen 50-year-old mothers going back to school. That's important. It's important for foundational learning, because that mother will make sure that the young kid goes to school, the grandchild goes to school. That's a connection. To explain to you a little bit more things that you know already, but to put context, our free education policy may not be viewed, should not be viewed from education direct or support to education directly. We do, yes, that, as the minister said, you've acknowledged the free education policy encompasses many things that you acknowledged, infrastructure, hardware. So if you look at other instruments we have, which we call Constituency Development Fund, Enhanced Constituency Development Fund, in there we also offer a good portion of that funding to education, scholarships, bursaries, for the first time in the history of our country, which are managed at a constituency level.
Association for the Development of Education in Africa Executive Secretary has praised President Hichilema and his government for improving the education sector.
This country, since you joined this position, you made a great effort in reforming education, particularly with the free education, the increased investment in education, the hiring 30,000 teachers. Those are things that we've recorded and we appreciate it. We had an opportunity to come to Zambia last year in October to organize what we call a high-level policy dialogue forum on foundational learning. It was one of the successful events. And we believe, although the continent is suffering from many other issues, unless we address education and foundational learning in particular, there's not much this continent can actually evolve.
Acting Minister of Education Felix Mutati highlighted the positive strides the Ministry of Education is making.
The drive that you have given to this country, Zambia, in transforming education, including investment in education, like he rightly said, has been recognized not only in Africa, but beyond.
African Development Bank Division Manager who was part of the delegation, also shared her views.
Two things I want to highlight, Your Excellency, is that this is a fund. The African Development Bank was requested to set up this fund, and this was out of the heads of state, African Union heads of state and government decision, where they asked, they saw the need to actually establish their own fund. And when I say their own fund, I'm talking about the Africa Fund, managed by Africa and also controlled by Africa. And the focus of this fund will be really looking at science, technology, and innovation.
This collaboration between the Association for the Development of Education in Africa and the Zambian government is expected to improve the sector significantly. Sandway for Zanis in Lusaka.
Gwembe Basic School in Southern Province has placed over 1,000 learners on a daily school feeding program to enhance their educational outcomes and nutritional well-being. Jolo Hachnene gives us the details of the feeding program.
In an effort to combat hunger and improve education outcomes, Gwembe Basic School is running a vital school feeding program. The program is providing nutritious meals to 1,027 pupils daily. This is to help improve children's concentration, energy, and overall well-being during the learning process.
The school feeding program has really helped us in a number of ways. One of them is it has really increased the enrollment. It has also improved the results, the academic results. Equally, the daily attendance has also improved. We have a total enrollment of 1,027 learners which are benefiting from this project, the project of school feeding program.
Parents have participated in this program by voluntarily preparing food for the pupils.
Community. Volunteer. You know, inga bugo abana twabona bulija buliye. Ibana banji batalinga kubora bubunji. Mapsenti aje kambo. Bulibu jigweleleja. Kambo ngeno bundiza tigalide kunganda kabora kajya tugwaza kwamana kayinka mu class. Abana bambi bajiregede imatema ya hawuyure. Bagatalika kubola najikoro kubola kutikwa batalika alipenda kubali kulegeranja.
Happiness, a school pupil, says it is important for the school to provide food as it also helps feed those who cannot buy food during break time.
For this school to feed us because one of the reasons because this is a government school, some people are not able to buy food, so they don't eat. So when they help us, they give us food for us to eat.
The initiative is supported in partnership with the government and the World Food Programme. Jode Hajinene reporting in Gwembe District, Southern Province.
And in other news, Lusaka District Disaster Management Committee Chairperson Rosa Zulu has announced that David Kaunda International STEM Secondary School is ready to reopen tomorrow after 2 weeks of abrupt closure following the contamination of the water at the institution. Ms. Zulu, who is also Lusaka District Commissioner, says the water situation at the institution has normalized through the reconnection of the school to Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company. Mijelo Mwemba reports that Ms. Zulu was speaking when she handed over 5 by 10,000-litre water tanks, among other items, to be used as reserve tanks. We have details in this report.
After 2 weeks of interrupted learning and teaching due to the contamination of the water system, which necessitated the temporary closure of the school on 26 June 2024, David Kaunda National STEM School is now ready to reopen tomorrow on Wednesday 17 July 2024 after reconnecting to the Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company. Lusaka District Disaster Management Committee Chairperson Rosa Zulu, who is also Lusaka District Commissioner, announced this during the handover of 5 by 10,000-litre water tanks and other hygiene and sanitation material to the school.
As we speak now, the school is reconnected and it is receiving water from Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company. As you can see here, the tanks they are pumping right up now. With these interventions, teaching and learning are resuming tomorrow. We don't want any child to lose out, so we want our children back Parents, please, pack for your children, let them come back to school.
Lusaka Provincial Education Office appreciated government's quick response through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, that came to the plight of the school.
As a province and education, we are happy because actually we see when the children are away, we are not really happy because they miss a lot. But with this gesture that has been given to the school, we say thank you and we appreciate.
Lusaka Central Constituency Public Health Specialist has confirmed the water situation to be safe for the learners at the institution.
Our team of experts took samples on this water that is being provided to the school, and we can surely say that this water is safe for usage for our pupils.
The donation of water tanks, granular chlorine, buckets and sprayers was also extended to Lusaka Business and Technical College. Mijela Mwemba reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
Action Against Hunger, a non-governmental organization, has joined efforts with the Ministry of Agriculture's Kaluli Development Foundation in Sinazongwe District. The partnership aims at empowering local farmers with knowledge and tools needed to recover from the drought crisis and build resilience against future shocks. Here's a report.
The recent drought, which affected most parts of the country, has threatened food security in Sinazongwe District of Southern Province. However, hope is emerging from the parched land as a partnership between Action Against Hunger and the Ministry of Agriculture's Kaluli Development Foundation is transforming lives. These farmers are learning vital skills to overcome the challenges posed by climate change. Cleopatra Nchie, a farmer from Maize Women's Club, shares their success in establishing demonstration gardens using bucket irrigation, which have inspired other community members to adopt similar practices. We've established a demonstration garden that utilizes drip irrigation, resulting in minimal water consumption. With efficient water use, our crops have reached maturity. The Chief Executive Officer of Action Against Hunger Canada, Dr. Onome Ako, and the organization's country director, Mary Kozi, have visited the district to assess the situation and witness firsthand the impact of the project in order to inspire action and mobilize support.
It's really good to see how innovation has helped us stand in this place that is full of very rich maize, corn crops. It's incredible. What we will do is continue to engage with Action Against Hunger in Zambia and the partners here to mobilize, resources. That's what our role is in the Canada office, is really to help, understand what the challenges are, understand what is going on well, and help mobilize the resources so that we can continue to work hand in hand with you, right?
I really want to appreciate, Ministry of Agriculture through you as our camp extension workers for this collaboration that we have. We need to recover from the drought as soon as possible. So it's not just about, we get relief food, no. But after the relief food, we need this. Yes. We need to be able to have food that will sustain us as we are waiting for the next farming season.
The project officer, Gavin Hamwele, emphasizes the importance of climate change awareness.
Our target was 1,000 farmers, but at the end of the awareness campaign, we had 1,276.
Chintunangamba, for Zanis, in Sinazongwe District, Southern Province.
Still on agriculture, the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has targeted to purchase over 40,000 by 50 kilogram bags of white maize from the small-scale farmers in Mwansabombo District this marketing season. District Agriculture Coordinator, DACO, Ruben Chandwe, says FRA has so far purchased over 18,000 by 50 kilogram bags of maize from the farmers. Lewis Changwe has more in this report.
Small-scale farmers in Mwansabombo District have continued flocking to the Food Reserve Agency FRA depots to sell their maize to the agency. A check by Zanis at Kazembe and Salanga FRA depots discovered that some farmers had even spent more than 3 days before they could sell their produce to FRA. The overwhelming response by the small-scale farmers to sell their maize to FRA has since cheered the District Commissioner, Rosemary Mwiche.
I'm telling you, this yet is overwhelming. As you can see, we don't want any maize to go out of the district. Appealing to the government that can they consider increasing the packs from 2,000 to 6,000 so that we cater even new cooperatives could be given the fertilizers so that we grow more than this.
District Agriculture Coordinator Ruben Chandwa now explains the target for the district for this marketing season.
As a district, we have recorded bumper harvest. We are likely to sell 30 to 40,000 bags. The only hurdle we have at the moment is that we only have 2,000 small-scale farmers who are benefiting from FISIP. Out of 10,000 farmers who are registered on our records, and yet there is potential to produce a lot of maize that can even be consumed outside the district.
One of the farmers, Shadrick Mutebela, appealed to government to increase the allocation of fertilizers to the district in the next farming season.
Tulima amataba nemfula lesa alitupekanisha insuma sana iya kweba tikira mwaka tatushotapo mfula iyo tulekabira obuteeko nga kuti bwatulolekeshapo bwino bwatubikirako fertilizer na imbi ifuleko pakutila babashibulimi bonse abalekabira okulima bakalime.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwansabombwe, Lopra Province.
Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa has called on farmers in the region to embrace new agriculture technologies to boost crop productivity. Mr. Akapelwa said this during the launch of the mechanization program, during which government handed over mechanization equipment and machinery to the Ministry of Agriculture at Namushekende Farm Institute in Mongo District. Darlington Kabambe covered the launch of the program.
Standing before farmers is Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa with a word for them to embrace new agriculture technologies in the region. Mr. Akapelwa said this during the handover ceremony of agriculture equipment dubbed Mechanization 360 Mulimisakata held at Namshekende Farm Institute in Mongo District.
It is with great pride that I stand before you today at the launch of mechanization equipment and machinery in the Western Province. The UPND government, under the able leadership of His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, has made agriculture the mainstay of development in our economy. This initiative, therefore, marks a significant milestone in government's efforts to transform and modernize agriculture in our country, ensuring sustainable growth, improved productivity, and enhanced livelihoods for our farmers. Agriculture is the backbone of Zambia's economy, contributing significantly to our GDP and employing a large portion of our population.
Mr. Rodwell Muntanga is the Provincial Agriculture Coordinator.
It is with much pleasure today that we are gathered here to witness the launch of agricultural mechanization dubbed Mechanization 360, which is a provision or facility of mechanization services across the agricultural value chain to smallholder farmers throughout the agricultural calendar years. Western Province has enormous potential to expand agriculture production due to its vast resource endowment in land, water, good climatic conditions, and labor. As a Ministry of Agriculture in Western Province, we pledge and commit ourselves to maintain, repair, and safeguard the machinery and equipment through the revolving funds. We shall also make sure that every farmer, without segregation of gender, accesses these services of excellence and service centers.
One of the farmers' representatives, Kavi Samovita, has appealed to government to upgrade the oldest Namshekende Farm Institute, built in 1946, into an agricultural college.
Twele kupelu kupa hulu bapemane nsege itali kwa muso wa UPND nibona bomwetele libaluna bo Hakainde Hichilema lukupa kulisikolo se sikone kuzwela pili sichinchiwe sifetwe kuba college kuliba na bana haya na Mushakendi mani sina Mushakendi fela kono bulozi kaufela kuli bafumane batange bukaufi kwa kutwa tutali tuto zanjimo.
Agriculture experts have advised farmers to go a mechanized way of farming in order to improve productivity and food security in Western Province. Darlington Kawambe reporting in Namshek Farm Institute of Mangu District in Western Province.
We take our first break. Join us for more stories after the break.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
How I Made It is a program that delves into the many success stories of different people from all walks of life. Watch How I Made It on Zanis TV every Thursday at 18:30 hours on the Topstar channel, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH.
Welcome back. Minister of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata says developing experts in environmental health is key in addressing and preventing most of the public health and safety challenges faced by the country. Mr. Kapata said this when he undertook a tour of the Lusaka Environmental Health University in Lusaka today. Government says it is committed to providing a qualified workforce for different industries to make sure there is safety for the public. Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata said the recent cholera outbreak is an indication that we need such cadres to help enforce health standards, thereby reducing disease occurrence of cholera as well as other communicable diseases. This afternoon, he took a tour of the Lusaka Environmental Health University and appreciated the efforts of the private sector in supporting government's agenda of providing good public health.
We have all these correlars, we have all these, and if we are not proactive by having professionals and those that are trained to handle this, then we will have a repetition of all this. Because when we are proactive, then we have people that are trained. We should be able to sensitize, to inculcate knowledge. I've always told the people that if we had health inspectors that were much more serious, they would have influenced the local authorities, suggesting that we do not need dumping sites, but we need recycling centers more than dumping sites. A lot of industries are coming up. We have seen all these accidents, all these issues happening, unsafe measures that are not that are in these institutions. So to have a crop of these that are trained, I want to believe that we'll be heading towards the right direction as government with such partnership.
Mr. Kapata also called on area members of parliament across the country to utilize the Constituency Development Fund to develop more environmental experts across the country.
It's important for members of parliament and those that are managing the CDF, the World Development Committees, is for them, of course, to identify such institutions. Because you have set standards as well. You are sponsoring some of the students and you'll have to survive. And so you require government partnership by bringing some of those youngsters to come and learn. Because what is important for government, first of all, is to have qualified health inspectors. I was very pleased when I heard Lombe talking about what was that issue she was talking about again? I think what she mentioned about the CDF and the rest. You know, we have all these newly created districts under the local authorities, local government authority, and each and every district has public health inspector.
Kipiri explains that the institution has the capacity to help the country to prevent and control diseases as well as improve public health and safety, as it is a research-based institution.
The world right now is revolving around diseases. We have to prevent and stop the spread of diseases in the country, not only here, but maybe regionally and hopefully internationally. So we decided to form a specialized university that's only going to train in occupational health, in public health and environmental health. And this is at BSc level and beyond. And for us, we feel that we can make a great contribution to the nation by setting up this institution specialized in public, environmental and occupational health services.
The students are grateful that government recognizes the importance of their field of study and pledge to serve the nation once trained.
As the team, this team that you are seeing, Director, is a powerful team, and we are ready to change the narrative because that's the reason why we are here. We want to train so that At least we change the story and we change the narrative of what is happening currently, and we are ready to do that. Once we are trained, and I know very well that this university is ready to provide the services that we require and the demand.
Sarah Miti reporting for Zanis in Lusaka. Government has reaffirmed its commitment to improving maternal and newborn health in Zambia, as well as in countries in the region. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says government is committed to accelerating achievement of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals related to maternal and neonatal health outcomes. Ms. Masebo said this in a speech read on her behalf by the Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Donor Coordination, George Sinyangwe, at the official opening of the operationalization of Every Newborn Action Plan (ENAP) and Ending Preventable Maternal Mortality (EPMM) Regional Technical Meeting in Lusaka. And United Nations UN Resident Coordinator Beatrice Mutali pledged the United Nations commitment to advocating for increased investment in maternal and newborn health.
This is a momentous occasion that marks a significant step towards our shared commitment to improving maternal and newborn health across our continent. Today, we stand united by a common purpose to ensure that every mother and every newborn in Africa has the opportunity to survive and thrive. Like Zambia, like other countries, has made remarkable strides in improving the healthcare system and health delivery system and health service delivery to improve the general health status of our people. However, challenges and gaps in maternal and newborn care still persist. I reaffirm government's commitment to improving maternal and newborn health in Zambia and in other countries in the region. This is not just a regional initiative, but a movement of like-minded countries and governments determined to change the narrative that transforms society for better health outcomes for women, newborn babies.
Maternal and newborn health is a cornerstone of sustainable development. The global commitment is to reduce maternal mortality ratio to less than 70 deaths per 100,000 live births, with no country having a maternal mortality ratio of more than twice the global average. On newborn mortality, the goal is to end preventable deaths of newborns, with all countries aiming to reduce neonatal mortality rate to less than 12 deaths per 1,000 live births by 2030. Investing in maternal and newborn health is not only a moral imperative, but a smart investment in our future. Healthy mothers and children are the foundation of healthy societies and prosperous economies.
Still on health, but now in Luansha, where District Mental Health Coordinator Clevius Magodi has appealed to parents in Kasongo area to refrain from hiding their children suffering from epilepsy. Speaking during the launch of the healthcare services to epilepsy patients, Dr. Magodi said parents are fond of hiding children living with epilepsy conditions for fear of being stigmatized by members of the community. Here's a report by Charlene Mutinta.
Eden of Hope organization, together with the Ministry of Health, has launched the Fight Against Epilepsy Awareness Program at Kasongo Health Post with the aim of changing people's belief towards people suffering from the disease in Luansha on the Copper Belt province. Luansha District Mental Health Coordinator has encouraged the community members to embrace children living with epilepsy condition.
This child is a human being, has feelings like another person. When they are isolated, they feel depressed. When they are depressed, others will begin to have suicidal ideas, especially from the ways that are being said from the parents. Like we've heard, I'm not able to work because of you. At home, we make these people feel loved. And this will actually bring development to our communities.
Eden of Hope project coordinator says to fight epilepsy stigma, the organization has partnered with different stakeholders.
In order to win this fight, we have formed the community women drama groups to help in the dissemination of information through sketches and anti-discriminatory songs, to teach the community's members on how they should relate well with the people living with epilepsy.
Kasongo Combined Headmistress has urged parents to take their children suffering from epilepsy to school despite their condition.
Encourage them to bring children to school. A child with epilepsy is not the end of the world for that child. We as teachers are going to encourage them to bring their children to our classes. We teach them because we know if they've been taken to the clinic, they'll be helped. They'll be given drugs. The drama that we watch, children are being taken to witch doctors, to papas, but we have been told today that there's medication for this disease.
A mother and a son who has been battling with epilepsy condition has commended government for such a project.
Otela sana pali program ini nchiwa kuninka biloko batu mwana ala chitashani ala pola kayinji wansansa ngefo abaletele wafuilisho.
Ati ndetotera sana pefe bandetero muti pakiliniki wa mpepi panomumbwene shatalano hapo muti.
I am happy that I will be receiving the medicine near my residence. I have never taken medicine before. I don't work because of my condition. I am very grateful.
The community has been advised to treat people suffering from epilepsy with love and care. Sheolin Mutinda, Zanis.
Government has procured mortuary units for Chembe Mini Hospital in Luapula Province at a cost of 300,000 kwacha using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. The mortuary units with a capacity of 12 bodies have since been delivered to the district awaiting installation.
From the time Chembe was declared a district in 2012, there has never been a mortuary facility in the area. Community members have been relying on the mortuary facility at Mansa General Hospital, about 90 kilometers from Chembe district.
The challenge which we are having, we have a challenge of the mortuary. We don't have a mortuary. Now my appeal to the government is,
to address this challenge, government has now built a mortuary facility in Chembe district and procured mortuary units using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF.
These mortuary units are able to accommodate 12 bodies, 12 cadavers. The structure itself has the capacity to accommodate up to 24. Initially, we started with 12, but there are plans of an additional 12 mortuary units. These mortuary units were procured at a sum of 300,000 kwacha. These mortuary units are just awaiting installation because the mortuary is not powered. However, we have engaged ZESCO as well as DEA so that this mortuary can be electrified.
Once operational, community members will be able to access mortuary services within the district.
Before we had this facility, our people here in Chembe could take the body of the deceased to Mansa General Hospital. So we're talking about the distance of more than 90 kilometers. But with the coming of this facility, it's going to offer a lot of advantages to the people of our community. We'll be offering services such as postmortem, which is a very, very important service.
Trevor Wala for Zanis in Chembe District, Luapula Province.
In other news, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary Mambo Hamaundu says drainage systems in Lusaka's hotspot areas prone to flooding have been rehabilitated and some constructed. Mr. Hamaundu has called on members to refrain from throwing litter in undesignated places.
These are some of the drainage systems that have been constructed in Chawama Township using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Some drainage systems, not only in Chawama, but also in other parts of Lusaka, have been constructed and rehabilitated in order to avoid the flooding situation that was experienced last rainy season.
Kupanga drainage is about 1.2 chokuyambira kuja yenda so in project number January so apati series isinomathi so sara chabe kurenga mapaipi hapa then waenda kujuba road kuja kunjanji somewhere.
Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Administration Mambo Hamoundu says drainage systems in all hotspot flooded areas have been worked on in preparation for this year's rainy season.
The hotspot areas have been dealt with. A number of drainages have been constructed in Kamwala South, linking, freeing water from the residential area going into the Bombay drain. We've also worked on a drainage in Chawama, and in fact there's still progress going on there to try and direct the water from the residential areas into the drainages.
Mr. Hamoundu emphasized the need for members of the public to refrain from throwing litter in the drainage systems to avoid blockages.
If we find one dumping garbage in a drain, we owe it to ourselves to have such a person arrested, taken to the police or reported to local authorities so that they are dealt with, because not only are they endangering their lives, they are also endangering the general public in terms of public health.
Chawama residents are elated with the development and have echoed the permanent secretary's call on the community to stop throwing litter in the drains.
Veti matavi mabini mulodi mutama kitingo tata tai pataye na madrenage baleke na mena mama vima drinki bata pali ponse bakamwa jani kombucha ta pali ponse iya safuniko afuniko kusunga chani I compound ya to clean tonga ko skomo pa madrenage aya because manzi ezonkali la maning pa vima church page. So mwandi magwira shito potipangira ko drainage at least zangara ko safe mvula ikayamba.
With the construction and rehabilitation of these drainage systems, there is hope that communities will not be affected by floods with the onset of the rains. Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
Thank you, Jane, for that report. We take another break. Stay tuned as we bring you more interesting stories.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conduct that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH. How I Made It is a program that delves into the many success stories of different people from all walks of life. Watch How I Made It on Zanis TV every Thursday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Senior Chief Mwamba of the Bemba people of Kasama District has expressed disappointment with the conduct of some local contractors in advancing government's agenda of infrastructure development. The traditional leader said this when Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Piri visited the area to check on the progress on the construction of his palace. Patrick Kawe filed in this report.
These people are my contractors, I'm signing my contracts. These are the people are letting the government to be suffering. The one who is bidding the contract should have a certain amount of money.
These are sentiments from Senior Chief Mwamba of the Bemba-speaking people in Kasama, who is expressing displeasure with the conduct of some local firms being awarded contracts in Northern Province. The traditional leader said this in relation to the contractor working on his palace, whom he accused of delaying the project.
Filafile na bana kufofla tia kulanda kwa kutati chira chipwe maiwa bantu bekalanda ukushusha ubuteko. Start monitoring contracts so that you push those contractors who are building palaces.
Senior Chief Mwamba said this when Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Piri paid a courtesy call on him at his palace.
We had a meeting with the contractors about 2 weeks ago on the issues to do with Chief's palaces, the 14 that are being built in the Northern Secretariat. The problem that we have seen is that our Zambian contractors, most of the times when they're given the works, they get the money, they forget what they're supposed to do. We'll do everything possible to respond to many problems that we're facing at the chiefdom.
Ms. Piri also visited the construction site for the palace. For Zanis News in Kasama, I am Patrick Kabwe.
The United States U.S. Embassy in Zambia says the American government appreciates the role traditional leadership plays in promoting development in chiefdoms. U.S. Embassy Deputy Chief of Mission Lenisa Wahid says traditional leadership is key to service delivery and development strategies to be implemented in rural areas. The Deputy Chief of Mission said this when she paid a courtesy call on Paramount Chief Chitimukulu at his residence in Kasama. And Paramount Chief Chitimukulu commended the American government for its support to the province. Earlier, Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Piri highlighted that USAID has been implementing 13 activities in health, education, and development, among others.
It's good that you have come to see first-hand information, especially in Kasama. Though we have got, as usual, so many challenges, but with time and patience and so forth, with the aid, especially from Americans, we get a lot of, we can go and do something. We really appreciate and thank you that you are taking the time to come and visit us, especially on the water project. Because this province has got around this, the wettest in the world, but we have got problem with accessing water.
Just want to also appreciate the importance of strong traditional leadership as well, and the role that Your Royal Highness has played to ensure progress and development in this province and for your people. So thank you once again.
Government has commended DSL group of companies for delivering medical equipment at 100% according to contract, despite being paid only 25%. Minister of Information and Media, Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana, said the equipment is meant to assist Zambian troops on UN missions. The Permanent Secretary said this after leading a team of journalists to inspect the medical equipment in Lusaka today. Muna Chibende has more in this report.
Access to advanced medical care directly supports the preparedness of the military personnel by ensuring troops are fit and healthy on and off the battlefield. Modern medical devices also help the military personnel to provide and sustain essential soldier support. This is why Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana today toured the United Nations mission equipment at Buffalo Park Barracks in Lusaka to check on the United Nations mission medical equipment meant to help the deployed Zambia Army and United Nations troops.
They have supplied air, but contrary to what was reported, you can see that they have supplied 101%. I say 101% because according to the specifications that the UN gave, for example, in certain wards where they're supposed to put 40 beds, the contractor has even added an extra 20 beds. So it shows you that he has delivered 101% in terms of delivery. And also in terms of having lost money as government, not a kobo has been lost from this transaction. In fact, now we are owing the contractor. And as the army has said, instead of us concentrating on taking the troops and contributing troops, we have also decided to join other nations that are contributing equipment and hardware. Because remember that when you are part of the UN family, that equipment and hardware that you give to the UN in these missions is actually paid for. It is paid for every month, isn't it? Yeah, so it is paid for. So this level 2 hospital that Zambia has been given an opportunity to go and set up in the mission is a hospital that will actually earn money the country.
this same equipment will be able to pay for itself back and actually continue to earn the country money. State-of-the-art equipment, which of course you see it is still going to earn us not only an income as a nation, but a reputation. I think you've heard our main uniform state that the other level 2 hospitals that are already existing out there are not as good and quality as what Zambia is going to provide out there in the mission. Besides, none of them have that negative, what did you call it?
Negative pressure isolation ward.
Negative pressure isolation ward. Zambia will be the first one to be able to put that out there. So this is all part of Zambia Kuchalo.
And Zambia Army Clinical Support Services contract manager explained the importance of the medical equipment.
So as you are aware, sir, after the awarding of the 100% to the troops that participate in the UN missions in Central Africa, there was need to find the gap of the 50%. Sir. And that is how the Army decided that we become more equipment-centric rather than troop-centric. Like I mentioned, sir, this is a massive medical facility, sir, that is going to serve the troops, the men and women that will be deployed in the mission area. And we, as the Zambia Army, we shall continue, sir, to look for other opportunities, sir, where we can deploy more equipment for more reimbursement, sir.
DLS International Group of Companies chairperson highlighted more about the contract.
But we have done nearly 100%. It's just, I can say 99.9 because of the few just repairs, but we have done everything. And I was given 25%. I was given the contract, and I've delivered the way I'm supposed to do. And it's supposed to be according to the UN specifications.
Munachwende for Zanis in Lusaka.
Over 10,000 households in Luansha district are said to benefit from the Drought Rapid Emergency Response Social Cash Transfer Scheme. Copperbelt Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo has launched a program aimed at alleviating the severe impact of the recent drought. Here are the details.
In a significant move to ease the impact of the recent drought, over 10,000 households in Luansha district are said to benefit from the Emergency Drought Response Social Cash Transfer Program. The initiative aims at assisting households affected by the severe drought who will receive 800 kwacha every 2 months.
And these vulnerable households should have not been on social cash transfer. So we are looking at the aged, other vulnerable groups, lactating mothers with children below 2 years.
Copperbelt Permanent Secretary, who was accompanied by Luansha District Commissioner, launched the program.
The Social Cash Transfer Program has over the years shown that individuals and households accessing cash transfers have recorded notable improvements in their lives, which include reduced hunger and better school attendance for children.
At the moment, we are running out of water in some areas. We have run out of food in some areas, but we are grateful to the government that the food has continued to come.
Beneficiaries expressed thanks to the government for this timely support. I'm urging my fellow recipients of this fund, the young ladies, let's put this money to good use and cultivate business and desist from alcohol abuse. I would like to thank the government for this program. It has really been inclusive and has catered for everybody in the community. It's a very helpful initiative. The Emergency Drought Response Social Cash Transfer Initiative testifies government's commitment to supporting citizens during difficult times. Karen Mshenywa, Zanis, Luansha District.
Finally, in the news, stakeholders in Eastern Province have made submissions in the ongoing validation of the Public Service Examination and Certification Strategy, which seeks the reintroduction of mandatory trainings and examinations in the public service. One of the main recommendations made is to incorporate trainings on ethics and patriotism in the public service in the curriculum of higher learning institutions.
Different stakeholders in Eastern Province have made submissions towards the ongoing validation of the public service examination and certification strategy that is currently in draft form. In Chipata District, one of the submissions made is to incorporate trainings on ethics and patriotism in the public service in the curriculum of higher learning institutions.
If the academia, the universities or these other colleges, is there a way we can sync some of this knowledge as they are training in their curriculum so that already they have got this tailor mind to say they will be in the public service?
Long time ago, we used to be taught in schools how to conduct ourselves before we are afforded in the system. So we feel the same thing can be added as they are there. They are at their college. Let them be taught how to conduct themselves.
This, when it is put in the curriculum of our institutions, then we should deliberately look at the specialized personnel that can handle such topics.
More submissions have come from Sinda District.
Why can't we call it refresher trainings than tagging it as exams?
This strategy must be embraced by all of us, for it means well to our community, the communities that we serve. There's been a lot of cries, not just here in Sinda, but all across the country where people, our communities cry. We're so off here in the rural sector.
The team that is conducting the validation exercise in the province is happy with the outcome.
So we have seen that there is overwhelming response to this exercise that we are doing, and we saw that the numbers, a lot of people came to participate in this exercise.
The feedback we got from our colleagues as well, interacting with them, is they have welcomed it in a positive way, because they also have the thing that there's a relation in terms of us civil servants, the way we are offering services to the general public, so that at least at the end of the day, those complaints might be reduced.
The mandatory training, examination and certification for government workers is meant to enhance efficiency and excellency in the public service. Joy Milopi for Zanis News in Eastern Province.
As we end the news, a reminder of the top stories that made headlines. Government reiterates commitment to transform education sector. FRA targets to purchase 40,000 bags of maize in Mwansawombwe. Chembe Mini Hospital gets mortuary units. And drainages in flood-prone areas in Lusaka are rehabilitated. That brings us to the end of Zanis News. Thank you so much for joining us. And on behalf of the entire production team and my sign language interpreter, John Chulu, it is goodbye.